Hello and welcome to Bristol Sport TV from Ashton Gates Sports Bar. In the next 10 minutes or so, we'll bring you up to speed on your favourite Bristol sporting teams. Plus, we have an exclusive tour of the West Stand with Steve Lansdown. But first, City had hoped to secure their championship survival on Tuesday night against Derby, but 2 goals in quick succession in the second half fired the promotion-chasing Rams to a 3-2 victory. Well, Chief Operating Officer Mark Ashton joins me now. It was a tough game on Tuesday night, a bit of a roller coaster really, seeing City go in 2-1 at half-time, thought, yes, we're safe. Well, I was.
Yeah, it was frustrating. It was always going to be a difficult game against a very good promotion-chasing Derby side. I thought parts of the first half we were outstanding, and when we got our noses in front just before half-time, you're really optimistic going into the second half, but we have to move on. We still need another point. We need to make sure that we focus for Saturday, which I'm sure Lee will have the boys ready and raring to go for.
I can't remember the last time where 5 teams were all on 48 points jostling to just make sure they're safe.
I've spent the majority of my career in and around the Championship, and it never ceases to amaze me. It's a 40-plus game season, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, and it's tough. And you go from huge highs on a Saturday to huge lows on a midweek. But what we have to do is try and find some consistency in what we do. And you normally find that over a 40-plus game season, teams finish where they should finish. But you're right, it is very bizarre that there are a group of teams on very similar points, all fighting to make sure that they maintain their status. All we can do is look after ourselves.
Yeah, well, and not least that one of the teams that we're fighting against is the team that we're playing on Saturday, Blackburn, on the same points. So actually, as Lee Johnson joked, all we both need is a draw.
Absolutely, but I can guarantee you that he's focused on going there to try and win the game. We have a good enough squad, I believe, to make sure we maintain our status, but we are all have to remain focused. We've all got a job to do, and it will be tough. Both teams are fighting for their lives, and I think you'll find both teams are going for it, so it'll be a different encounter, but one thing is for sure, Lee will have the team focused, he'll have them prepared, and you'll have them ready. And
ironically, we've been great away from home this season, so it would be nice, it would be lovely to secure our status at home, but actually we've been performing so well away.
Yeah, and people ask me time and time again, why is that the case, Mark? And it's a difficult one. When we're away, I think teams are probably more open. The home teams come out and have a go at us. And with the type of players like a Tomlin in the side, you can be more counteractive, if you like, and make use of the way the opposition play. And I think you saw, particularly once Derby got their noses in front in the second half, they were very hard to break down. The space on the pitch was closed up. Technically, they were very good. But when you're away from home, you set up slightly differently because the home team set up differently. It makes it easier. It's easier on occasions to do, and I think there's probably a little bit more of a freedom in the way we play away from home. But with 3 games left to go, discipline, focus, people need to do their jobs, and we need to get across the line.
Well, talking about people doing their jobs, you and Lee haven't stopped since the moment you came in January. I know it's been fast and furious, for want of a better expression, but you've both talked about the huge amount of work that is ahead this summer as well, and I know all the fans are desperate to know about our transfer plans and ideas about what we've got to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and that's what Lee and I have to do. So we're working tirelessly morning, noon and night. Again, focus on the job in hand to make sure we stay in the division. But beyond that, we have to run our plans for next season, because if we wait until the end of the season, we'll be timed out. The players that we'll want to recruit will have moved on and we'll be behind the 8 ball. We are restructuring our recruitment department, and we'll be able to make some announcements on that quite shortly, on how we try and identify and bring in talent to the football club. But I think one thing I would like to stress is that everyone at the football club involved in bringing players and talent to the club in all areas, whether that's the academy, the development squad or the first team, are now absolutely aligned on what we want. We understand the DNA, technically, tactically, physiologically, psychologically and financially, of each individual player in each individual position that we're trying to bring in. Our scouts, our recruitment team are now aligned to that, and we are on it. We are working 24/7 to make sure that we have a productive summer, and we're building players. We bring in players that will give us the best opportunity to be competitive next season.
Well, ironically, all of this work is in the aim of restoring us to the top flight. And Tuesday night might not have been the result we all wanted, but of course Tuesday was the 40th celebration year of City achieving their promotion to the top flight. And a number of the team players from 76 were here at Ashton Gate, and I caught up with them just ahead of kick-off. She was certainly a good omen for City. You were the one that scored the goal to get them up.
1976, 40 years ago, you're right. In fact, it's 40 years more or less to the day, because that's tomorrow, and I did score the goal. The only thing about that is that I scored probably a bit too early, because we were all on edge, and we scored probably about the 3rd or the 4th minute, so we had to go 80 odd minutes on sort of bag of nerves, didn't play very well, and it was a really edgy atmosphere.
You get the goose pimples come every now and again when you're having a chat. It's just lovely. And I mean, the ground looks magnificent. I can't wait to see it in full blossom.
Well, it was great chatting to them ahead of the game, and what an inspiration they are to this current generation.
Fantastic. It was nice to meet so many of the guys before the game on Tuesday night. You know, we all have aspirations to work and play at the top level, and I think when you look at guys like that who've achieved it, they can be nothing other than inspirational. So it was nice to meet them, and I think we can take a lot from the successes that they've achieved.
Yeah, well, let's hope we're having our own celebrations at home against Huddersfield on the 30th, but let's hope we do it this weekend. Thank you very much, Mark. Well, speaking of celebrations, young City fan Oskar Pycroft was here on Tuesday night celebrating his award as Football League Supporter of the Year. Yes, on Sunday evening he was given the award in front of more than 600 football dignitaries in Manchester.
It's just amazing for me. It's just been a hard, tough time from all through my life, and this is the stage where I can walk better.
Well, barely a dry eye in the house in Manchester on Sunday evening, and it was lovely to have Oskar back here at Ashton Gate on Tuesday evening with his award alongside his mum and Wade Elliott, and thanking everyone for the support that has been shown to him and the Darren Wright Foundation, which continues to raise money for children suffering from cerebral palsy. Well, it was nice to speak to Oskar with Wade and also give him the good news that Bristol City have awarded him a free season card for the next campaign.
It was the same excitement that I had when I walked on the pitch, and I want to say now thank you to everyone that's helped me raise this money to get to this stage and pay for my operation.
He is a fantastic supporter, and he really did epitomise what the club was all about, with everybody coming together and getting behind him and making something bigger than just ourselves. And
you talk about the club getting together because, of course, it was several clubs. You know, it's not very often that we can say Rovers and City came together, but they did.
No, which speaks volumes for Oskar, that he can walk on the pitch at Rovers in a Bristol City kit and still get a cheer and money. But I think that just shows what a force of unity that football can be, and how it can bring people together, and how it can achieve something really great.
Now, switching attention to the women, and City Women are back in action on Sunday as they take on the London Bees, coached by their former manager Dave Edmondson. Well, the Vixens will be boosted by the return of their striker Millie Farrow.
Millie's been given all clear to train. She trained on Saturday, albeit non-contact. She will go into full contact Thursday or Friday, with a view to being involved in some respect on Sunday.
Now to basketball, and the Flyers suffered a pair of back-to-back defeats over the weekend to London Lions and Manchester Giants. The BBL regular season is now all wrapped up, with the Flyers narrowly missing out on the playoffs in 10th place. And we caught up with head coach Andreas Kapoulas to reflect on the team's second year in the BBL.
Our first year in the BBL was great. We made the playoffs. This year, unfortunately, we were not able to repeat our success. But as I said, it's about learning from this. It's about moving forward as a club. We've got a great support. Bristol Sport, SGS College, our sponsors, RSG and Integral. So we have everything that we need to be successful.
Well, Friday night saw Bristol snatch a last-gasp victory over Moseley, 24-22. The game was won ultimately with the final kick from a cool-headed academy fly half, Callum Sheedy. Well, it was certainly a night for the youngsters to shine as the Bristol Rugby Academy under-15s were presented at half-time with their trophy of the Lisbon International Rugby Festival. Here's Academy Development Manager Gary Townsend.
I think we turned it on really for our Portuguese friends who admire the way we played, and even the English sides and the Welsh sides were full of admiration for the boys' conduct on the field, for the way they played, for the spirit they played in, and also for their conduct off the field.
Well, meanwhile, the Bristol ladies will be playing in their Senior Cup Plate final this weekend against Worcester, and we caught up with them at training earlier in the week.
We've got the chance to come away with some silverware at the end of the season from what has been a great season for everyone and really grown as a team, so I think we'll just concentrate on getting the result.
Well, it was a successful weekend for Bristol Sport Racing. 2 wins for Lando Norris in the opening weekend of the Euro Cup Formula Renault. And for Dino Zamparelli, he finished up both times in his races on the podium. A slightly bizarre weekend at Silverstone for Zamparelli as qualifying was cancelled due to snow. So Zamparelli second in the table going into the 3rd race of the season, which is at Alton Park on the 3rd to the 5th of June. Now, just a reminder that the Big Sports Breakfast returns next Friday, April the 29th. There are places still available to come and hear the inspirational story of Eddie the Eagle Edwards. Now, finally, many of you will have spotted that the red seats are going in the upper tier of the West Stand. They're all but completed in that top tier. And earlier in the week, I joined Steve Lansdown for a tour on the progress being made.
It's better than I ever thought it would be, to be honest. It's amazing when you get up to the back and you look at over west of Bristol there and you see all the land, and you realise, and you look down on the pitch and see what view you get. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's very exciting indeed. Having sat this during the season and watched this stand come out of the ground and very quickly at that rate as well, you knew it was on its way, but you really get a feel now that we're almost there, and we're coming to the end of one season and soon be starting another, and this will all be ready.
I think you're one of the first, well, you are the first person to be sitting in these seats because this upper tier deck has just gone in. It's gone in so quickly.
And I can say they're very comfortable. I can highly recommend them.
I think you might be a tier below here.
I think I might be, but it's just a great view from up here. I mean, you just I'm just watching the guys doing the lines for the game this evening, and just you can see everything in total. You know, it's all in perspective. It's clear as the view is unbelievable. And anybody coming to watch a game of football here now in the future, or rugby for that matter, are just going to have a fantastic time and just really enjoy the occasion, I'm sure.
Well, talking about seats, of course, we are in the middle of our season card sale, and on Monday we go into the general sale period. Of course, we'd love to be able to open this upper tier, but we need to make sure the lower tier is completely sold out first, and we're on our way.
We are indeed, and 27,000 capacity is a big capacity for Bristol. We've never been there in this sort of stratosphere before, as far as we're concerned. But I think we could. There's a whole population of people out there who want to be involved with sport, watching sport, participate in sport. That's what Bristol Sport is all about. And this stadium's going to give them the opportunity to come here, and there should always be a seat. Hopefully there won't be, so that everybody will be packed out every week.
Well, I will let you get on and check out the more exclusive facilities below.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Best of luck to all of our teams, particularly City. Let's hope they do the business at Blackburn. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and this week we have the latest edition of Kids TV coming out with Georgia Stone. I hope you've enjoyed the programme, and in the meantime, have a great weekend of Bristol Sport.